If the radius of a circle is increased by 75%, then its circumference will increase by how much percent? Well, let us consider the initial radius as 100, let's say, centimeter. So the circumference will be equals to 2 pi r. That's, let us write it, 2 pi r, and that is equals to 2 into pi into the radius is 100. So that's 200 pi centimeter, the circumference. Okay. Now the radius is increased by 75%. So the new radius will be 100 plus 75, that's 175 centimeter. Okay. Now the new circumference will be 2 into pi into the radius, that's 175 centimeter. So 175 times 2 is 350, and this pi centimeter. So how much is the increase in the circumference? Well, the increase is 350 minus 200, right? So 350 minus 200 is 150. So increase percentage will be the increase upon the base value, on how much has this increased. So 150 is an increase on 200. So 200 times 100. So 150 by 2 is 75%. Well, actually this should be pi, and this should be pi, and this should be pi, right? This will be 150 pi. 350 pi minus 200 pi. Okay, I hope you got the point. So the increase percentage is 75%. So option C is the right answer. If the radius of a circle is diminished by 10%, then its area is diminished by how much percent? Well, let us consider the radius as 10 units. Okay, so the area will be equals to pi r square, and that is pi into 10 square, right? So it will be equals to 100 pi, the area, right? Now the radius is diminished by 10%, so the new radius will be equals to 10 minus 10% of 10, right? So 10% of 10 is 1, so 10 minus 1 is 9. So the area will be equals to pi r square, that's pi into 9 square. So this will be equals to 81 pi. So we have 100 pi and 81 pi as the areas. Now the area has decreased. How much is the decrease? So decrease is 100 pi minus 81 pi, right? And this has decreased on 100 pi, right? The initial area was 100 and the final area was 81 pi, and times 100 to make it a percentage, right? So 100 pi minus 81 pi is 19 pi upon 100 pi times 100. So this pi gets cancelled, 100 and 100 get cancelled. This is 19%. So there is a decrease in 19%. Option B. If the circumference of a circle increases from 4 pi to 8 pi, what change occurs in its area? Now we have been given the initial circumference and the final circumference. So let's calculate the initial and final radius. So we have 4 pi is equals to 2 pi r1, and we have 8 pi is equals to 2 pi r2, r1 and r2 being the initial and final radiuses respectively. So we have r1 is equals to 2 and r2 is equals to 4, right? We have the radii. So let us calculate the areas, initial area and the final area. Initial area is equals to pi r square, so pi into 2 square, that's 4 pi. Now final area will be equals to, that's a2 is equals to pi into 4 square, and that's 16 pi. So how much has the final area become of the initial area? Well, a2 can be written as 4 times a1, right? 4 times 4 pi will give you 16 pi. So the area has quadrupled. Option D. Three circles of radius 3.5 cm are placed in such a way that each circle touches the other two. What is the area enclosed by the circles? Basically, you need this red area enclosed by all of these three circles. So how do you find that? Well, if you connect the centers of these three circles, you'll get an equilateral triangle, right? Now, the radius of these circles is 3.5, so this is 3.5 and this is 3.5. So the side of this equilateral triangle, that is the length of the side of this equilateral triangle, will be 7 centimeter. 3.5 plus 3.5. Okay? Now, if you observe carefully, there are these three sectors formed, and in order to get this red area, what you can do is take the complete area of this equilateral triangle and subtract from that the area of these three sectors. Now, for calculating the area of these sectors, you'll need this angle. Well, this angle will be 60 degrees because this is an equilateral triangle. So we have area enclosed by all of these three circles will be equal to area of the triangle minus the area of these three sectors. So 3 times area of one sector, because all of these three sectors are same. Now area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 side square, and we have a minus 3 times area of a sector. Well, area of a sector is theta by 360 into pi r square. So put the values and get the answers. So area is equals to root 3 by 4 into s square. Side is 7, so times 7 times 7. This is one side of the equation, minus you have 3 into theta. Theta is 60 degrees, so 60 by 360 into pi is 22 by 7 times the radius. Radius is 3.5, so 3.5 times 3.5. This is another part of the equation. So 3 times 120 is 360 and 60 times 2 is 120. Now 2 times 11 is 22. So we have this as equals to root 3 by 4 times 49 minus we have 11 by 7 times 3.5 can be written as 35 by 10 times 35 by 10. So 7 5s are 35, 5 2s are 10, right? And again 5 7s are 35 and 5 2s are 10. So we have root 3 by 4 times 49 minus we have 77 by 4. Now you need to put the value of root 3 as 1.73, and if you solve this, you'll get this as 21.217 minus, and 77 by 4, you'll get it as 19.25. And if you solve this, you will get 1.967 as the answer in centimeter squares. So correct answer is option A.